Hello, everybody. I'm going to wait for people to fill in so that we can get started with our design reviews. Say hi in the chat if you wish. And I will try to pronounce your name like I do every episode, but of course, I fail most of the time at that. Okay, I'll be the first. There. So I'll introduce what we'll be doing if you're new to this here momentarily for our hour-long stream. Hello, Jack, Ahmed, John. Wow, I'm 3 for 3 so far. Sweet. Super Maka, Somali Pirate, hello. So we're going to give it about a minute or two more. And, wow, we already have some people. Of course, Sam Nan is first, submitting their entries. All the information is inside of the YouTube description about where to submit Antone. So check the YouTube description for that. Except the channel is negative space submissions. I'll go over that in a second here. Don't worry. No, I do not know who GitHub Fan is. I've never seen your name ever once in my entire life. Just kidding. I've seen you the past several months on my Discord channel. All right. We're going to get started soon. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, so for those of you who are new and you haven't really checked out what this stream is about, the negative space, and of course the negative space is a play off of a design fundamental, sometimes known as white space. And it's not really, I'm not really negative here. I'm not mean to people, but I do give you my honest opinions about your UI UX designs. So what you do is you click on the Discord link in the YouTube description, and then you join up. You'll be put into the roles section. You're going to have to come down here and click on one of these emoticon reacts right here to let us know that you're not a bot. That will open up all the other channels. Under design course, you click on negative space submissions right here, this channel, and you submit your UI UX design. Hopefully it's something you design and it's not like a template that you purchased or something else. And I will take them in the order that they come, so we're already getting filled up here. I do this for an hour. I'm never able to get through all of them. If you do want me to get through yours no matter what, click on the little, it's not showing up on my screen, but it's a little super chat icon in the chat section. You could send me money, and you can mention your Discord username, and I will, of course, get to that, and you'll be thrust to the very beginning of the queue, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me do this real quick. I hate having this bar here on Windows. There we go. Now that's gone. Okay, good. So let's take the very first entry received. Yes, Gary wants some money. I do. I'm an evil capitalist. Okay. Sam Nan. All right. This person is like 13 years old, by the way. Okay. So, I can't remember if you changed anything about your design. I can't remember. But you know what I would probably do, first thought here? I would probably take this. If you have like a background image of the same thing, I just get rid of that. Just stick with this square image right here, all right? I create anything that I imagine. I would change that. I like that it's the fact that it doesn't say I'm a UI UX developer like everybody else says. But I would say I can create anything that you imagine, right? Nobody cares if you can create what you imagine. The person that wants to hire you wants to know if you can create what they imagine, right? All right, so full stack developer and designer projects. I would probably have a secondary call to action here, not just projects, but something like hire me or contact me as well. So let's click on projects. We'll see what's happening here. Okay, so something tells me this is not yet complete. Yeah, this is cool. It would probably be cool to have like a little title on here to fill this section out a little bit more. Also, this line right here should probably have a space separating it from this line right here. It just looks a little strange. Or just make it a part of this paragraph. Don't put a new line there. Same thing with here. I use Affinity Designer. Put a space between this and this. It just looks a little bit weird structured like that. I'd probably also put a headline right here that's a little bit bold and a little bit larger. Almost kind of like this. Yeah, other than that, pretty good here. Especially, you know, if you're a 13-year-old for sure. All right, good stuff. What do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know in the chat, and I'll give you my predictions as well. Not my predictions, my score, if you will. And I won't look at your answers in the chat. I'm just gonna come up with my own, and we'll see if most people agree with me or not. This scroll hijacking part right here, usually it's nice if you kind of just do it in such a way where it puts them, like you don't want this to happen, like when a person stops. So try to like slide them into that view, or that part where everything's fully into view. All right, I'm gonna give this one a, let's see, I will give it a, oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm going to give it a 6.2, I think. It seems like there's a lot of people who had some high scores and low scores as well. 8, 7, 7, 4, 6, 5, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8. Someone gave it an 8. All right. Let's continue on. Next up. Did they say anything? Also, the Appeal tab has a really cool form style, and I think you'll like it. There's no back end. Okay. All right. Checking it out. All right. So one big thing that is an issue here is alignment of your columns and the content on said columns. You have a column here. It extends all the way down here because it's defined by the starting point of the logo. This is really where the layout starts to begin. But then over here, you have all the way pushed on this side, just randomly, this. And then you have a third column that starts right here that's defined by the beginning of this. No, get them all on the same place. And I would say this is a good, for this resolution, this is a good starting point right here. All right, so like right here, this column, this logo should be here, this icon should be here. All right, because right now this seems a little bit thin. Like we have all this space over here, there's a ton of space over here. I think you could expand that a little bit more. Other than that, I like the icons. It seems a little bit cluttered just having the 1, 2, 3 along with the icons and the headline and sub headline here. Probably get rid of the 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. I like the colors though. Your contrast is looking good. Let's click on Appeal real quick. All right, hi, I'm Cal, Computer Assisted Loan Interface. I'm here to help you through the evaluation process, ready to get started. Make sure you have access to, okay. One problem here, there's not enough white space separating these type-based elements. So this looks a little bit strange, having just slight indentation on these elements. So you want to space those out, structure that section a little bit better. This, I like the form, I like the colors. Everything looks pretty good here. You have labels like you're supposed to. You can clearly see that they're text fields. No issue there, pretty much. So yeah. Pretty good. I'm not going to go through all this, but I like this part. Good stuff. What do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best that you've ever seen. I see the super chat. We'll get to that. For this one, This part really kills it for me in the alignment, the misalignment really. It has a lot of potential otherwise though. So I'm just gonna give this one like a 6.8, 6.6, I would say. Seems like you guys agree, just as a quick glance based on what you're saying here. All right. Oh, sweet Titus. I was hoping somebody might help me. All right, so here's the super chat. Thank you very much, Just Fitness Guy. Awesome stuff. By the way, Titus, I will respond to your question in private in the PMs. I saw you messaged me earlier. I'll get to that. I need to get on that, by the way. All right, so let's see here. Here is the super chat, which does help my alcohol fund, especially during the coronavirus. Everybody's drinking a lot more, killing themselves. All right, one thing I do like, I like the colors. I like this very desaturated blue. It's slate. It's like my favorite, basically. It's kind of like the Discord colors. I like this bar up here, very monochromatic. One problem is though, this is quite large the way it's situated over here, and it feels like the layout's broken because it doesn't feel centered. You have this stuff right here, but then centered over here is down this part. So I would take this stuff, maybe just center both of those, and try to fill out this section more if you're gonna have this stuff centered down here. I like the placement of this stuff. I think it's pretty good. I like this. Again, it feels kind of wonky because this isn't centered. This type right here isn't centered in relation to this because it's sticking out over here. So it feels a little strange and off to me. This is centered, so it's inconsistent. I mean, I guess you could do this as long as it's consistently applied. I really like the colors here, though. All right, pretty good here. All right, what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best thing you've ever seen since sliced bread. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 7.1. Yeah. Seems like you guys pretty much agree. I don't think it's too dark, though. I definitely don't think it's too dark. I've seen a lot darker than this. So, yeah. All right, thank you for the submission, by the way. All right. Or the super chat, too. All right. Here's another super chat. This is the second super chat. Thank you very much for that. Let's see if he said anything. Is that the URL I'm looking at now? No. Oh well, no big deal. Let me just check it out. Okay, there's some guy sitting down. Kind of like a, okay, let's see here. A professional full stack web developer. All right, so one problem right away that I see here, the hello I am is actually bigger and of the same color as your call to action, your primary call to action right here. So what I would do is, if you want to do this hello I am thing, take the color of this and make it just slightly darker than the background, the black background that it's sitting on. So if I come in here and change this and I go to like this, there we go. I like that. Of course, you would want to do the same thing with this little element. Let me do that real quick because I'm OCD about that. Wait, why is it not changing? I'll just eyeball it. There we go. So like this right here is much better now because the attention is drawn to the download CV right here. So that's what you want. I would change that. Continuing on. All right, this part's not too bad. I might want to bold these up because That way it separates the type visually from this element right here, or this text, because it's styled exactly the same, except these are all caps, of course, but I would also bold them up. I might want to also, I can see there's a very slight background on here. Might want to increase the contrast slightly, because it's almost borderline unnoticeable. At least on my monitor. Everything else here seems pretty good. I would probably invest in better pictures. That's for sure. This is, you can tell this is a cell phone camera picture. I would get better quality photos of yourself. I would definitely do that. This one's not too bad here, but yeah, good stuff. What do you guys think he should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Yeah, I just think this is a strange picture too. You got your hairy legs out here. Yeah, I would just get a different picture there, and a little bit more professional in terms of the quality, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and give this a rating of a, let's see here. Kind of like a 6.2. Maybe 6.1, 6. That's what I would say. All right. Wow, we're getting a fair amount of super chats. Well, we got 4, I think. All right, let's see if Titus has been able to keep up here. Just Fitness. All right, we got another photograph here. Thank you for the super chat. All right, checking this out. Okay, let's refresh, see if there's any animation. There was some sort of strange animation happening here. Maybe it was some type of weird SVG filter or something. Let me refresh that again. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like that. Just make it stay like this. Okay, we have your name here. We have some code, which I'll be honest with you, like if somebody's looking for a developer, I know you're trying to be witty about this, but they're probably not trying to figure out exactly what you're trying to say right here. They might need a coder, but they may not understand code. So then you've lost people. You don't want to do that. Coming down here. All right, so this amount of text right here, featuring it on your landing page, especially just beneath everything, you know, the above the fold, as they say, I probably wouldn't do that. I would include this. I would only cut this down to like this amount of text, make it a little bit larger, and then have like a read more or an about me page, and then include all this stuff because there's a lot here, and people generally don't care about all that stuff when they first stumble upon your website. They want to see the work that you can do, and they want to see your experience first and foremost. Come in here. This is all pretty good, well designed. Just kind of looking around here. Type is a little bit small. I would probably increase that for sure, just for readability. Yeah, there's some good parts about this layout for sure. Very monochromatic, which is okay. All right, so that's the main thing I do. Plus, you need a strong call to action here. These right here, all your social links and stuff, that doesn't really call as a good call to action. Like I would, you know, primarily people want your potential clients or people who are going to hire employers. They want to see 2 things: your work and a way to contact you. So I would put buttons there for that. What do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the best, 10 being the worst. For me, again, yeah, I mean, from this point down, all the design layout wise is pretty good. Up here though, in this section, I'm not too big of a fan. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a rating of, again, I'm just feeling like a 6 or so. That's what I'm thinking about that one. What do you guys say? 6.8, 7.5, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, 5, 5, 7. Yeah, okay. There's a mobile version. I mean, it's pretty responsive, pretty well set up. All right, next up. That was the guy I just checked out. Yeah, okay. Wait, I mean, I didn't check him out. You know what I mean. Oh. Okay. Let's check this one. Here's another super chat. Project Zorgo. Why should I check my PMs? Did you super chat me? If so, Titus is taking care of that for me. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not checking out any other direct messages. If you want to submit, just go into the correct submission channel and hope I get to you. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So, first thing, let's see. Let me just scroll down and see what's happening and get a better understanding. Overall, it is pretty good here. Let's see. One problem is this right here. You need a little bit more separation between those links. They're all real close together, so I would separate those out more. As for everything else, a little bit small in the type right here. Especially, I'm not sure if it contrasts quite enough with the gray background versus the gray text. Again, that's a small minor gripe here. Let me click on one of these pages. This is a pretty strong gradient, so I might want to change that. Maybe to make it not quite as a significant color change between those two elements. Just slightly less. Again, this is all just, I like this stuff though. This is all good design here. The cards here look pretty good. I probably want to separate these out, the bottom part of these cards, because there's very little difference between the background here and this gray here. So I might want to separate them out slightly more. You could do that through like a very subtle drop shadow if you wish. So yeah, there's a lot of ways you could tackle that. But yeah, other than that, a little bit small type right here, but still, this is all pretty solid. So what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Yeah, oh my God. People are so annoying sometimes. Okay, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a rating of a 7.5 or so. Yeah, it's definitely the best one that we've received so far. So good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right. So I think that's all the super chats. Now we're gonna get back to the regular chats here. Dude, letter A. I'm not doing your design. I'm not reviewing it right now. Not through a PM. Like if you come up, I will do it. All right. If you come up in here and like it's your turn next, I'll get to it. All right. So who's next? GitHub fan, I think. Yeah. All right, here we go. GitHub fam is a regular in our Discord server, which by the way, you guys should all join and just hang out there. We have a community. It's all exciting. Okay, so all right, so one thing I would do is your navigation up here. is real close, especially on this larger resolution that I'm dealing with. I mean, there's hardly any white space. It's kind of just thrown up there. You know, push it away from that top element a little bit more. So what I would do is like padding 2M. Maybe not quite this much, but it just has much more room to breathe now at this amount of padding. It does feel weird having completely blank area right here. If your name is, if your business name is Coding Master, put Coding Master right here, because that's a familiar pattern that people are used to. They're used to being able to click on it to also to get to home. I do agree with still having a home button now, because research has shown people want to see a home button. For this section down here, you're wasting a lot of space. White space is good, but too much of white space is bad. Just like too much water can kill you, right? So figure out something else to do like this, all right? So that's the biggest thing. Next up, we have no separation of a background section here. So it feels a little bit weird when you're transitioning from a centered single column like this to two columns in which one column all the stuff is centered, and then we have stuff over here. It would help you a little bit more to have separate this right here with a different background color, and it doesn't have to be a huge contrasting background. It could be very subtle, and it just helps separate this area of content out a little bit more. As always, I say this at least once every live stream. Whenever you guys have like a two column layout like this, where you have an illustration here and some content here, I'm always a big fan of either right aligning that text or left justifying that text, not centering it. It just looks strange. It really helps define the two columns a little bit better when everything starts on one column, like over here on this side. Again, separate your columns out based on a different background color, because this is just a mess right here. It lacks a semblance of structure in terms of the layout. And that's really what kind of most of this area suffers from. It just looks randomly placed, and it would look so much better if you created sections based on slightly different background colors, and something like that. So, what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Cookie Monster, you're the guy from the other chat, right? On Traversy's server, or used to be server, or whatever. All right, let's see here. I think it was called Dev Hangout, but it's like something different now. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a rating of 4-ish. Yeah, I'm going to say like around 4.2, just because, you know, there's a lot of things, there's several things that are happening right with this right here, but what's happening wrong, or what's happening right though is good contrast. For the most part, there's good white space. There's some pretty good visual hierarchy between the elements, but there's just no structure of layout here. And also, I would say visual hierarchy in terms of if you look at it from a macro perspective. All right, so thank you for that. Let us go on. Who is up next? Okay, it's this guy according. Okay, so somebody else gave a super chat. Thank you very much. Hopefully this is the right link here. All right, Union Coffee. I'm going to scroll down just to get an idea of what's happening. Wow, we've already been going 30 minutes. That is crazy. So we'll be doing this about another 30 minutes. Okay. I don't even know who Punita Chihuahua is. I have no clue who that is. Stop spamming though. All right, so hey, Titus, I'm gonna add you as a moderator. There you go. Now you can like mute people and stuff. All right, so the first problem here is all right, we have the logo, Union Coffee. People already know the name, right? I'm not too sure if it makes sense to really advertise and use such a massive part of the screen real estate. Oh my God. Thank you. I'm not sure if it makes so much sense to just state the name when you could really use some other ad copy for the headline. Plus, it's a little bit strange because this almost looks like a logo in and of itself, encased in this border. But then we have a entirely different logo right up here. So I would rethink that. All right. So what I would do is, yeah, definitely use a different headline. Second to that, where it says this part, this gets lost because this is a high contrast background that it's sitting on. A lot of different colors and shades, blacks and values and all that. So this right here kind of gets lost. You're going to need to rethink about how you can create more contrast. And you can do that by making the background darker. That's one way. Right here, not a lot of white space. I would get rid of the borders. Borders for the most part, unless they're the cool trendy borders like this type of little small element right here, just add unnecessary clutter. So I would get rid of the borders. You already have a clearly defined border between these two containers with this background image and this white right here. So you don't need this big old border right here. It just adds clutter. Yeah, also work on the white space. I would push About Us way further down at this viewport at least, because it doesn't need to be so close because it gets lost a little bit. Again, right here, more white space between the bottom of this piece of type right here, like margin bottom, like 4 M units would be fine, maybe a little bit more, and that way it separates them out. This part here is pretty good. This is pretty solid right here. Maybe a little bit more separation between these elements, like this headline part and this description, just slightly more. A little bit more white space between this element and this part. These containers a little bit close together. And more white space between this location stuff and this map. Push it over to the right a little bit more. Other than that, I like the colors. I like the style of this type right here for the headings. I like that a lot. The type is good here. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. What do you guys think for this? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. For me, I'm gonna have to give this, there's pretty good parts about it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 6.8, 6.9, almost a 7. All right, thank you for that, Super Chatter. All right, who's next? We're gonna go to, I know we didn't get very far on this list. All right. Big issue that I can see already is the fact that there's not enough contrast with this real, it's already a thin, light font. And I think it just needs to be either bolden up like a little bit more, use a little bit heavier of a weight, or make it darker, because this is real light. But it's not. It's almost there, so it's not real bad. But I can guarantee you there would be issues with readability, and it looks like a small type, a little bit too small type up here. Other than that, I like it's like a modern approach. Good form, no issues here. And of course, this is just a PNG, so it's not interactive. But yeah, I like the use of white space. The color's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty solid overall. What do you guys think for a quick rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I can't shrink this because it's a PNG, so it's not responsive. Or is this supposed to be like a mobile version? Yeah, see, I can't really. For this, I'm going to give like a 7.3. Yeah. All right, next up is Captain John Silver. All right. Can I hit play here? All right, we got plugins hunt, kind of like product hunt, but plugins hunt. I see we're doing the whole, what do you call, neumorphism approach. Kind of hard to see the plugins hunt there for this logo, so I'd probably make that black or something that really stands out. All right. The cards are they're pretty good. If I were you, I'd try to make them a little bit more white space and a little bit just filled out a little bit more. Enlarge the container that it's sitting within. That way you can do that. Because it seems a little bit like there's not a lot of space between these elements. But it's not that bad. It's pretty solid for what it is. I'm not going to bother with a rating because there's really not much happening here. There's just this element. This is pretty solid for what it is, though. All right. Next up. All right. We're at 36 minutes. All right. Quarkly. I think that's how you pronounce it. Design tool for creating websites and web apps. So is this actually something you built? Or am I just reviewing some big company's website? All right, maybe not. All right, well, we'll check it out anyhow. Seems simple enough here. Yeah, I like it. This is a really long page. Yeah, I like it. I'm not too sure about the border, the white border here, because there's no other borders that I've seen. So it just seems a little strange having a border there. So I would remove that. But I do like the panel-based design and the masonry sort of layout. So that's definitely cool. Yeah, I don't really have anything too much negative to say about this. I do think you have two colors here. One's a pretty, blue. This one's more like a teal. I don't know about those color combinations because they're close to each other on the color spectrum. It is nice to have, like, if you're gonna have like a secondary color, they should contrast more, in my opinion. Like a purplish could work better, in my opinion, with the blue. I'm not sure though, because even that's kind of close. But still. This is solid though. Yeah. What do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. For me, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 8. That's our highest rating so far today. All right, good stuff. We do have, what time is it? Yep, Titus is on the ball. Thank you for the super chat. I like the colors, I do. This is an Adobe XD prototype. So you can't scroll down. This is all it is. I would say if this is an actual chart that you're going to be using, not a lot of contrast here on these elements, so it's kind of hard to see the chart graph. I would just increase the contrast of the type here and the X and Y axis lines here, plus in the bottom here as well where it says March 15, 2020. You can barely see that. Outside of that though, everything else looks pretty solid. Probably want to increase your contrast on this part. This is already like, you know, it's pretty vibrant, but on the darker, slightly darker side of red. And so this right here, the currency, I would make that black instead of whatever color this is. Or you can make it white, make this part bold. But yeah, that's being nitpicky, of course. This is really solid though. What do you guys think this person should get a rating for? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. This is definitely above a 6. I mean, for what it is, this is definitely above a 6. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to give this one, you can give this one like an 8.1, 8.2. You guys don't seem to be agreeing with me, but I like it. The colors are great. I guess it's not interactive, there's not a ton of content, but for what it is, the design that I see, I do like it. Yeah, solid. Zorgo, I'm not. Listen, the only way you're gonna get special treatment is if you pay me. That's the only way it's gonna happen. Otherwise, I'm gonna take these in the order that they're received. Okay, let's continue on. Was there another super chat? Oh no, not that person. Get out of here. All right. No, I don't think there was. Who is next? I think that person was next. Yeah, right here. All right. All right, so I'm just being completely inundated, blasted with thumbnails, like thumbnails up here, tons of thumbnails down here. I feel like, you know, at least for this landing page, having some sort of hero section, even if it's minimal, would be a little bit better, possibly. One problem here is, even though you are trying to create kind of like a blur effect and make it a little bit darker, this blue right here for the titles on this section, which completely hides when I go over it, it still isn't standing out and contrasting as much as it could. I would make this overlay portion where it's blurred out, I make that darker even. Completely unnecessary to have these line dividers here. You don't need those borders. I would get rid of those. This isn't too bad. Yeah, I would just say it's just kind of boring. I mean, I understand it's a content-heavy website, but there's a lot of different ways that you can list out. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can list out groups and lists of things like this, so that they don't all feel exactly the same. All right, so what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Me, I'm just gonna give this just a 6, 5.8 or something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be good. All right. We got another super chat. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. We'll be doing this for about 15 more minutes. Somebody's making threats. Oh. All right. Let's expand this. Okay, so we have a number of issues here. First of all, this hero section, everything is just enlarged way too much. Your home, about, portfolio, that doesn't have to be that large. I would scale that down quite a bit along with your name up here. The size of this can be scaled down as well, and this would actually be pretty good to keep it this size, your headline and your subheadline. But everything else should be scaled down a little bit more. I would also try to, right here you have your line spacing between these elements. Like right here, there's a lot, and then there's hardly any right here between your subheadline, and that just throws off the flow of the type. Try to keep those consistent in one way or another. This part's actually not too bad right here. Again, everything's real large. Then everything's really large right here, so much in my face, it's like I would tone it down quite a bit. Latest projects, if you're gonna have only one project in a card format like this, it's not a deal because you just have this big empty space. Figure out a different way to lay that out. And I would change the color of the background of your text field elements because it just doesn't make that much sense. You can make them white even, and I think it would be a little bit better of a color choice based on this sort of pale beige background color. Left align the button as well. Everything else is left align. The button should be left align too. All right, what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Me, there are some things that are happening right here. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a... like a 5.7, 5.8-ish. I think that would be fair enough. All right. Where did everything go? Wait, did I do this one? Yeah, I did. Okay. Here's the next super chat. Someone's in the chat telling people to stop super chatting. At a certain point, I do want people to stop super chatting, and that will be probably in about the next 5 minutes. I won't want any more super chats. Okay. Let's check this out. Unfortunately, I can't see the whole padding or the actual start of the layout. Actually, I can if I go over here. Yeah, this is pretty solid. Probably move this up slightly, the illustration, only slightly, but everything else is perfectly fine with this. Let's check this part. Again, you probably want to have a label on there like email and username, but nothing else is too wrong here that I see, except the button is of less height than these two elements, so it's inconsistent a little bit. If anything, I would reverse that, make this the larger thing, and make these elements the size of that. Looking at this, pretty solid. I don't have anything negative to say about that. Very similar to that color scheme that I saw recently from a few areas ago. Yeah, solid stuff. Yeah, I have no problem with this. What do you guys think this person should get for their design? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What next page? For me, I'm just going to give this one a solid, like 7.8, I would say. It's pretty good. Looks like you guys agree with me in the chat. Awesome. All right, who is up next? I don't understand. 2 designs, but there's only 1 link here. What's happening? Well, let me know, Titus. It says same person sent 2 super chats. So 2 designs. You're on fire tonight. So I'm not sure which one that is. Okay. So let me check. Oh, I reviewed them earlier. Okay. Let's go on to the next one in line, if I can find and remember who that is. No, it's not that person. Well, let's see here. Oh, okay, I think this is next. Oh, yeah, okay. This one had animation, so we'll show that. Very smooth. Your own app with Eat app. Let me refresh this to get back to the okay, that makes more sense. When I translated it to English, it was messing up this button. So I'll just look at it in the native language here. Smooth scroll activated animations, pretty solid. This being offset slightly, I'm okay with it just because it is consistently applied. I like this font though. What font is this? Ina 01? Okay. Yeah, this is solid. I don't have anything negative to say about this. Nice white space separating each content. Get off of there. There. Yeah, this is all good. I like it. Very solid. What do you guys think this person should get for a rating? Yeah, because I don't have anything negative to say. It's really solid. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Me, I'm going to go ahead and give this one like a 9.1, 9.2. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, I was just stretching. Yeah, very good. I like that. Yeah, the animations may have been a tad bit heavy. A tad bit, yeah. Because almost everything was animating. Yeah, I am tired. On Fridays, I have to wake up early. It sucks. I'm not used to doing that. Let me see what time it is. 53 minutes. We'll be doing this for a few more minutes. All right. Let's refresh this. I wish everything right here would just be centered aligned vertically because it's like right at the very bottom of this edge. So you want to push that stuff up to here, starting here. All right, so this is one of those scroll hijacking situations where it should snap to a certain point for you automatically. Because like, just look at this. You're really forcing me to scroll down a lot with my mouse scroll wheel through this whole thing. And that's just like it's a bad user experience for somebody who prefers to use their scroll wheel as opposed to, you know, the scroll thing over here. And then you get to a certain point and then it's just completely blank and you can't, you're wondering if you should scroll more or not. So that's one thing you would definitely want to remedy. There should be more white space inside of this or more padding inside of this card container. Just a bit more. Yeah, but this whole section here, yeah, definitely figure out how to fix that one. What do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. By the way, no more super chats. Do not send another super chat. For me, I'm just going to go with a score of 6.5 or so. Although the usability issue of that area might actually take that down to a 5 now that I think about it. Because design-wise, it's not a huge problem, but like making me scroll like that, that really kills it for me. We had a super chat. Oh, okay, it was just a tip. Okay, thank you for that, by the way. Awesome stuff. Who is next? Why does it keep on pushing me? Like, I'm gonna kill. I hate Discord sometimes. Now I don't know where the hell I was at. Eats app, school landing page. Yeah, I already did that one. Okay. Next in line. I think we'll do one more after this and we'll be done. I don't know why there's a big white empty area down here. I don't think that's probably part of your design, possibly. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know why you would put it in like the scroll container area. I don't know. Either way, looking at this, not enough contrast on your plan support, you know, this part right here. So I would fix that. It's a little bit too close to your logo as well. I pushed that over a fair amount, maybe starting here. Where it says take control of your Discord server, add to server, a little bit boring. I see you have like a watermark here, but I feel like you could probably fill this out a little bit more. All right, so I can see you're trying to do something interesting with this overlay, but having the border and this opaque background in front of it, it's just, and the type on top of it, it just clutters it too much. So just make this a solid color for this panel. Right here, not too bad in that section. All right, what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Again, there's a lot of 6s today, in my opinion. Yeah. Maybe a little bit lower. Seems like that's what people thought, though. Oh my God, if that guy messaged me one more time, I'm gonna make it a point not to do his at all, just because he keeps on messaging me. Dude, Jesus Christ. Okay. Do mine last. Like, why should you skip everybody else? Why should I do yours and just skip all the other people who submitted? No, not happening, man. All right, who's next? Now you lost, maybe lose my damn place. God, that guy sucks, and I'm gonna ban him. I think that was next. Yeah. Here's our last one. If I didn't get to yours today, sorry about that. It's just how it works. I take them in the order that I received. All right. There's a lot happening here, though. I'm just going to choose... Yeah, it's the entitlement. It's like, dude, grow up. I wonder if these are prototyped at all. Let me see here. All right, this part's not too bad here. It doesn't look like they are prototyped, so I can't click on anything. I would probably, make this a little bit darker. That way, some of these don't some of these colors don't really contrast well with this background because they're light on light. Outside of that, this almost looks like Facebook. Very reminds me much of Facebook's login for some reason. Very similar colors here. Outside of that, I probably left aligned the login right here because everything else is left aligned. But yeah, this is pretty decent there. Let's see what else is happening here. Let's check this one out. Yeah, a little bit, I don't know, just bland up here, like this square sign-in button. Kind of hard to read some of these titles, so that's a case where you want to put like an overlay at the bottom. There's different ways to approach that, like white text on this white suit right here. It's very hard to read, so I would fix that sort of issue. And then down here, I'd probably remove the borders from these. There's a lot of borders, line separators. That's an older school sort of way to approach UI design, so get rid of them. All right, very good. I'm not going to bother with the rating for this one. It wasn't prototyped, but yeah, pretty solid designs today. Let me close this out. Yeah, so how long have we been going? Where is my dashboard? Yeah, we're at an hour and 1 minute already. So, all right, guys. Yeah, thank you for the super chats and the submissions and all that stuff. I will see you guys possibly next week. We'll see. But yeah, exciting stuff. Yeah, if you stay around and idle in the Discord server, especially on Friday mornings, for me at least, Eastern Standard Time, I usually announce it an hour before, or sometimes 2 hours before, and then you could try to be one of the first people to submit in that section. All right, so I will talk to you guys soon. All right, goodbye.